On the edge of Mesopotamia stands Mardin, a city that carries the silence of thousands of years. The moment you arrive, it feels as if time stands still. Located on the edge of the Mesopotamian plain, Mardin is one of the oldest settlements in Turkey, with a history dating back to 4500 BC. Known for its yellow limestone architecture, the city has been home to Syriacs, Arabs, Kurds, and Turks living side by side for centuries. From the ancient city of Dara and the Deir-el-Zafaran monastery to Midyat's stone craftsmanship and terraces overlooking Mesopotamia, Mardin offers a unique blend of history and culture. Today, it is known as the city where time stands still, giving visitors the feeling of traveling through thousands of years. Walking through Mardin's narrow stone streets, you can feel how every doorway and every arch carries the weight of centuries. The call to prayer echoes across the city, blending with the distant sound of church bells, a reflection of a place where different beliefs have coexisted in harmony. As the sun sets over the Mesopotamian plain, the city turns into a golden landscape, revealing why Mardin has remained a timeless crossroads of civilizations. In Mardin, history is not confined to ruins, it lives in the rhythm of everyday life. Craftsmen in the bazaars continue ancient traditions, carving stone and shaping silver as their ancestors once did. The scent of spice, coffee, and fresh bread fills the narrow alleys, reminding visitors that this city has been a living crossroads for thousands of years. Here, the past does not fade, it breathes, shaping a place where time moves differently from the rest of the world. Just beyond the city lies Dara, once one of the most powerful eastern fortresses of the Roman Empire. What appears today as a quiet landscape was, nearly 15 centuries ago, a strategic stronghold that guarded the empire's border. Massive walls once surrounded the city, and beneath the ground, colossal cisterns were carved to store water for tens of thousands of soldiers. Walking through Dara's underground chambers, the silence feels almost ancient, as though the stones remember every moment of its forgotten past. Not far from here stands the Deir-el-Zafaran monastery, rising above the landscape like a guardian of time. For centuries, it served as the spiritual heart of the Syriac Orthodox community. Beneath its foundations lies what is believed to be a 4,000-year-old sun temple, a reminder that this land has carried faith long before written history. Inside its quiet halls, sunlight filters through narrow windows, illuminating walls that have witnessed prayers spoken in the world's oldest surviving languages. In Midyat, the story takes a different shape. Here, stone is not simply built, it is sculpted. Master craftsmen carve delicate patterns into limestone, turning homes into living works of art. The sound of chisels striking stone echoes through courtyards much like it did centuries ago, preserving a tradition passed down through generations. In the markets, silversmiths shape filigree so fine that each piece seems to hold a fragment of the city's patience and grace. As night falls over Mardin, the city glows softly beneath golden lights. The call to prayer fades into the quiet of the evening, and the rooftops become a horizon without end. From here, the Mesopotamian plain stretches into darkness, the same view seen by ancient traders, emperors, and travelers who once passed through this timeless crossroads. In Mardin, the past is not distant. It is present, alive, and waiting to be heard. But Mardin is not defined only by its monuments. It is shaped by the lives of the people who call it home. In the early morning, bakers lift warm flatbread from stone ovens, and shopkeepers sweep the doorways as the first light touches the city's terraces. Children run through narrow alleys that have echoed with footsteps for centuries, unaware that they are part of a story far older than memory. Across the city, aromas rise from kitchens, slow-cooked lamb, fragrant spices, and sweet grape molasses simmering into hariri. Meals are not simply food here, they are traditions that connect generations. In Mardin, hospitality is not offered, it is lived. A stranger is welcomed as a guest, and a guest is treated like family. As the day draws to a close, the wind carries a quiet stillness over the rooftops. The sky turns from gold to deep blue, and shadows stretch across the ancient stones. From this viewpoint, the Mesopotamian plain seems endless, a reminder that civilizations rise and fade, yet some places remain. In Mardin, time does not pass in the way we know it. It gathers, layer upon layer, moment upon moment, until the present feels intertwined with thousands of years. And when you finally leave this city, you do not take a memory with you, Mardin leaves one within you. As night settles over Mardin, the city becomes a constellation of quiet light suspended above the Mesopotamian plain. The ancient stones cool, the voices fade, and a stillness takes hold, the same stillness that has watched over this land for thousands of years. Tomorrow, the sun will rise again, turning the walls to gold and waking the city from its silent dream. Markets will open, prayers will echo, and life will continue just as it always has, slowly, patiently, and without haste. In a world that moves too quickly, Mardin remains a reminder of something rare, a place where time does not rush forward but rests beside you. And long after you leave its streets and rooftops behind, the memory of this city follows you, not as a moment, but as a presence. Mardin, a city that does not end when the journey is over. It begins when you carry it with you. Thank you for being here. Subscribe for more unseen places and incredible history. The journey continues.